Hi there, welcome to Tarot Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Taurus energy. And like usual, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Taurus energy. We can all harness high vibe Taurus energy when, kind of maybe our perception of life has changed. We've changed how we view life. We've grown, we've matured, we've healed. We're ready to face our fears, to live life differently. And the bottom row is going to be a more worldly, shadowy Taurus energy. It can be that we all have our dualistic nature. It can be our fears and our insecurities about the changes we have to make in our life. So even though we might want to move forward, you or other people, sometimes they're really battling within themselves because they kind of like to keep doing life the way they've done it. If they don't like a job, a friendship, or a relationship they're in, or not just happy with how they're living their life, you have to bring change. And when one person in a dynamic changes, it changes the whole dynamic. Some of the people in our life won't move forward with us. Some people won't be happy. Some people will. We all kind of like to stay in our comfort zone and keep doing life the way we've always done it. But at any given moment, some people are going to move forward in life differently. Life's about learning lessons. Some people are more willing to face their fears and believe in themselves. Some people aren't. People are at different stages of life. So some people are moving forward, some people aren't. And some people are battling within themselves. So the reason for the high vibe reading is the Justice card. It's also the reason why the reading came out. Some of you could have been dealing with a Libra, or you could have been dealing with someone that you thought you were on the same page on, that you thought would be just and fair, and maybe what they think is just and fair is different than what you think is just and fair. We all have our ideas of what we think is just and fair based, and Taurus is kind of like our philosophy, underlying philosophy of life and how we view relationships. And everybody can think what they think is just and fair in a relationship. And well, let's go look at the story. So we have the Nine of Cups, the Magician, the Eight of Cups, the Four of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, the Hangman, and the Chariot. So some people, we could all have been happy in something we thought was just and fair. The Nine of Cups, we thought something was our dream come true, that it would be this emotionally fulfilling experience. But were we both with what we thought would be emotionally fulfilling and what we were trying to manifest? Was it the same thing? Some people want to just stay right here. I enjoy this, let's manifest this. And sometimes some of you were in a relationship with someone who wasn't high vibe. And if that's in a workplace or whatever, where, the people you work with or the boss or the supervisors kind of like, yeah, I'm glad you came to work here. This is great. Oh, and we're these really just and fair people. You should stay here. And then you get in the job and you're like, oh gosh, we're going to move forward. People are going to be loving and encouraging, and we're going to invest in trying to see things from other people's perspectives. And, everybody's going to get in the driver's seat of their life and maintain discipline within themselves because they're these just and fair and loving people, balanced people who see life from a bigger perspective. And then you get in the job or the relationship and you realize, oh no, now that you came and got in the relationship, we're going to go back because this is the Nine of Cups going down to the Eight of Cups. Well, now that you took the job, or you got in this relationship, well, now we're going to go back to how we normally are. And we really don't do love. Yeah, we don't really work well together with others. We have unresolved issues we haven't healed from. And so we're kind of immature and we kind of operate from our pride and ego. But, we try to look like we're moving forward in this just and fair and emotionally balanced way, but we really think it's just and fair to operate from pride and ego. So we can be petty, immature, invest more in taking action, more out of these petty ways of being than these just and fair and loving ways of being. So the Nine of Cups is Pisces energy. And some people, their philosophy of life in their Taurus energy is they kind of live in illusion and they try to emotionally confuse people about the truth. And for them, they think it's just and fair to do that. Isn't that what you do? Don't you kind of create an illusion of how wonderful it would be for someone to be in a relationship with you or work for you in a workplace? And then once you have gotten them to kind of move forward with you and invest in you in this new beginning, oh, well, then you can go back to being who you really are. You know, once you get them in, then you are unwilling to look at life from any other perspective than your own because you think that's just and fair. I'm stubborn, I'm prideful, I'm immature, I'm egotistical, I'm defensive. Well, now that I got someone who maybe is loving and balanced to be in a relationship with me, this is perfect. Let's move forward. And it's like, but you're not who you said you were. So that's the thing. There's people in the world who really are in shadowy energy, but they try to present themselves as being a more emotionally mature person. But they haven't learned the lessons in life to really be an authentically high vibe person who's loving and warm and giving and nurturing and balanced and acts with character and integrity. They're actually tipped out of balance and they do operate more from their defensive nature, their prideful nature, their self centered nature. But you see, they could think that everyone does that. Just creates this illusion. They could think the high vibe people are doing that. Well, you're just creating an illusion. You're not really that. Nobody's really that. Everybody is trying to manipulate everybody else. Isn't that what people do? And, I think we tend to view people as being like ourselves. And some of the shadowy people, they are more about maybe ego and image, because Taurus energy in shadow and Taurus energy within all of us is that aspect of ourselves that puts in work and effort to have like stability and security and enjoy the finer things in life. And some people are kind of aligned with their more worldly view of Taurus energy. And it really is about we get in a relationship, we get in a job, and it's all to create this little image to the world of look how victorious and successful we are. Look, I got in a job. Look, I have a job. Look, I got in a relationship. And it's all more about just trying to create this illusion to the world about how wonderful your life is, but they're missing the point. They don't get that there is some people in the world who aren't tipped out of balance. They want those things of the world, but they also equally want balanced, stable, loving, nurturing relationships. They want to act with character and integrity to be proud of themselves. They want to be in relationships where people treat them the way they like to be treated. And the other people are like, well, no, that's what how people pretend to be. Like they're more just and fair and balanced to get along with people and have people view them that way. But nobody's like really that way. Everybody's just creating this illusion because they could be more selfish and self-centered and defensive. And they think everybody else is doing that. And they could think that the most important thing is to manifest that it looks like you're moving forward in life. I didn't miss an opportunity in love. No, look, I got in a relationship with someone else. Look, I've had a new beginning. Look, I'm moving forward. Look, I've got the justice I've deserved. But they could be operating from pride and ego. I'm mad that another relationship didn't work out. I'm going to go get in another relationship. Look at me. Look, look, look. Look how victorious and successful I am. And they're getting in relationships with people because they're in their ego that they couldn't manipulate the last person they were in a relationship with to indulge them in their idea of what they think is just and fair. Sometimes shadowy energy purposely go look for people, because they view, some of you could be dealing with a narcissist. They view themselves as being this type of person. They believe their own illusion. They think, oh no, that's who I am. But it isn't the truth of who they are. They get in relationships and then they don't operate from love, from the 9 to the 8. No, I let go of a couple of. It's all about me indulging myself in this relationship because relationships in the past hadn't worked out for me and I kind of gave up on love. So now I just try to create this illusion. I know how to act like this in the world. I create this illusion that this is how the dream I'm going to bring into reality. But really, I'm not going to bring that dream into reality of being authentic and treating other people, I'm going to act like that, but at the core of it, I reject love because I haven't healed from past pain and heartbreak or my own self limiting beliefs. But so long as the other people view me this way, and as long as they don't kind of get in the driver's seat of their own life to stand up for what they believe in, to get the justice they deserve and leave my ass, then it works for me. I get in a relationship with someone who really is in those kind of like loving energies. And I get to go along for the ride. And it makes me look victorious and successful in life. And as human beings, we get in a job, a friendship, a relationship, we can put in a lot of work and effort to make those type of relationships work. Any relationship or job, because we want them to work. We'd rather not go get a new job, a new friend, a new relationship. But eventually, other people were like, I'm trying to bring this dream into reality. Why do you seem to be defensive to it? Why do you seem to ignore my love? I'm trying to move this forward, but you seem to be acting kind of prideful or stubborn. And I don't know, I'm starting to get the impression that you are kind of more about your ego and your image. Why are you in this relationship? Oh, this is good for your ego and image. It makes it look like that you're like this type of person too, but you're really not. I know you present yourself like that, but that really isn't the truth of who you are. You don't work with people from a place of love. You're not open to like being a student of life and looking at things from a different perspective and trying to see things from other people's perspectives and looking at the world differently and expanding your perception of what you believe is possible. Like just connecting in with your emotions and your intuition to guide you versus living more from your mind, because shadowy energy can be people who it's like strategizing. How do I make people think I'm like this? I want to look like I'm like this type of person. I want to look like I'm moving forward in a new relationship. Who do I think I'd be happy to be in a relationship with that I think might maybe be, oh, look, this person's sad. I think I can go manipulate them. I think I'll make them an offer to stay stuck with me. How about you get in a relationship with me? Something I was in didn't work out, but that could be a lie. They might be just, maybe the last person they were in a relationship became illuminated to the truth and moved away from them to get the justice they deserve. And they're like, damn, I couldn't manipulate that person. Well, that didn't work out. Oh, look, there's someone who's sad. Let me go see if I can get them to invest in this illusion with me. Maybe they're in their pride and ego too. And that's the thing. We can all get in relationships with people based on where we're at. Maybe things didn't work out the way we had wanted, what we were trying to manifest. So, we're sad. We can get in relationships with other people who are kind of sad that relationships didn't work out. We can all be a little bit in our pride and ego. We can all want to be in a relationship. But then the fundamental difference comes down to, are people willing to be just and fair and operate from a foundation of love in a balanced way where I'm going to take responsibility for maintaining balance within myself. When my fears or my insecurities or my more me nature pops up, I'm going to do some work within myself to not think it should be all about me being indulged or getting things my way. That I've learned lessons in life. It's about love, and it's about treating other people the way I like to be treated, being just, being fair. And, like I say, some people have learned those lessons more than other people. And that's when we kind of realize that I kind of feel stuck in this relationship because you're not quite there yet. And you might be a little bit more like, well, I still do kind of invest in my more prideful or egotistical or self centered or me nature, or, I'm willing to stay in it because it looks good and successful. It's like, yeah, that's not why I want to stay in it. I don't stay in relation. The thing is, we can all have been wherever we're at in our life, fearful, insecure, codependent, blah, 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 sad. We can all get in relationships with people being in that energy. The thing is, the high vibe people are motivated and inspired to deal with their issues to overcome them. If I've had fear and insecurity, I've dragged around a certain level of the new stage of life of fear and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs. I want to overcome those and let those go, to have victory over them, to feel more balance within myself. The high vibe people, when they get in a relationship, this one people can stay right here. It's like, this is great. Look at the relationship I got in. I'm happy. And the other people put in this work and effort within themselves to deal with the things that keep them stuck, that keep them from feeling more balanced within themselves and loving themselves. And part of them could even do that because they think the person they're in a relationship with could seem more balanced and stable than they are. And they want to be someone that they'll be proud of. So they do this inner work that I might have some fears and insecurities and self limiting beliefs. And, I think this person seems to be more confident than me. And that was kind of an illusion. They maybe really weren't. But then that person does this work within themselves so that the person they're in a relationship with is proud of them, that they've kind of healed and grown and matured, and they're kind of maybe getting to being on the same level they think the other person could be. And then the other person's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why did you do any of that? I was happy right here. I could have even been happy that you were sad. I could have been happy that you were more codependent. I could have been happy being in a relationship because you were kind of stuck about some issues in your past. That's the type of person I might like to go forward with. I like it that you're this maybe loving, nurturing person who maybe has these fears and insecurities. Then, you're not maybe requiring a more just and fair and balanced relationship. Maybe before you were letting me be more about me and indulging myself in this relationship. And because you hadn't healed from some of those issues, I was kind of able to manipulate you into moving forward with me because you maybe were in a little more codependent energy or sad or wanted to move forward in life in what seemed to be a more stable or secure or something situation. And that's when the other people realized that I did this work within myself to want to feel more, become like all I can be. And then I realize that the people I'm in a relationship with don't want me to become all I can be. They like it when I'm more out of balance like them. People can be loving people and still more tipped into their more worldly view of life. If the bell curve's right, you maybe have atrocious people over here and narcissists, and then you got Mother Teresa and Jesus over there. Most of us in the bell curve are right here trying to figure things out. And some people, everybody maybe to a degree could have had the best of intentions. It's just that some people are a little tipped into their more worldly view, and they could want to be in a relationship with someone who is operating a little more from their ego and willing to stay in a relationship because it looks victorious and successful. you know And the whole thing is, we come together with these people in relationships to help us get clear about our truth. What is my truth? What isn't my truth? Initially, I could have thought this was great. They could have thought it was great. We're all moving forward. And then sometimes a relationship can be great until it really does require someone to kind of expand their perception of what they think is just and fair and how they view people in the workplace or in a friendship or in a romantic relationship. And that maybe both people are supposed to get in the driver's seat of their life. Because sometimes some people just, I want to be a little more tipped out of balance. I want the scales tipped in my favor. I think that's just and fair. How about you be more self-disciplined and loving and warm and giving and nurturing and supportive? And I don't so much have to do that. I like that. I think that's just and fair. So someone who's kind of not as giving and loving or just or fair or maybe acting with character and integrity or self-discipline gets to be in a relationship with someone who's like that. But the person who is like that doesn't get to be in a relationship with someone like themselves. And some people are like, yeah, I like that. you know? And sometimes we all repeat patterns of the past because it's our comfort zone. For some of you, you're used to maybe, because we're all children, and needless, when we're children, we kind of have to live our life according to the way our parents want us to live our life, and we've kind of got to make a lot of concessions, and a lot of times we'd like them to see things from our viewpoint, and maybe they don't, and we got to move forward with them anyway, and we love them, but you know. And so then we can kind of used to be making concessions on the things that we really are motivated and inspired by in our dream, and we kind of indulge other people in doing it their way. And high vibe energy is about becoming more independent and just appreciating the fact that you have your own unique talents, skills, and interests that fulfill you and bring you joy, operating from a place of love and trying to be just and fair in relationships, and wanting to be in relationships with other people who know how to fill their own cup emotionally, who are more independent of their shadowy nature, independent of their more worldly egoic nature. And then we have two people who are independent, who overlap, and then that middle part is where they work together cooperatively on a common goal, but they respect the fact that they each are their own individual. Oh, those are some of the things you enjoy doing. Those aren't really things I enjoy doing. So, you go enjoy those things that you like because you're your own individual person. It's not like we've got to be enmeshed together. You respect that other people, what they enjoy doing and pursuing, and some of their activities aren't necessarily going to be things you pursue or enjoy. And you respect that you're both two individuals, and that also that one person you know, shouldn't really have the scales perpetually tipped in their favor, where it's more about them. So, some people are in that situation. Some people have already been in that type of situation and they left because they felt like they were being manipulated or what they were trying to manifest. You want to live in the city, I want to live in the country. Taurus energy can have to do with all these kind of worldly things too. Maybe religion or ethnicity or something. You want to do more of, you're a little more high life or out there more, and I'm maybe not. It's all these kind of differences that we have basically. And we could just feel like what we're trying to manifest is different. Hopefully people can stay in a place of love that I wish you nothing but peace. But I feel like we have some differences in what we're trying to manifest. So, here we have like the Eight of Cups, which would maybe be two people in the Four of Cups working together. And some people just kind of decided, I don't think this is aligned with my truth. And we change and grow over time. And maybe we're just not on the same page anymore. And maybe we're kind of feeling manipulated, or like people weren't offering us love or rejecting our love. So we take that cup of love to love ourselves and keep being a student of life, and be willing to work through our own fears and insecurities about moving forward, separate from whatever that was or those people or that person, to expand our perception, because so much of our life is just based on what we think. And when we kind of tap into viewing life differently, that, what I am capable of, maybe get out, having a more optimistic view about the world and what is possible, and when we do that, and Pisces is tapping into your emotions and your intuition to guide you, to keep believing in yourself and believing in your dreams, that helps you get back in the driver's seat of your life and helps you get and stay balanced within yourself. Love is what helps us heal. So we offer ourselves love. We know we want to maintain our emotional independence. I know how to fill my own cup emotionally. I am not codependent on other people for my emotional well being or stability. I know how to love and believe in myself. And I know when my intuition tells me it's time to walk away from something, even though I might be sad, I believe in myself. And if I have a different dream than some other people have a dream about, they have the right to dream, to live their life whatever way they want. If that wasn't the truth of my dream, or they just realized that they weren't on the same page as me, I'm not going to stay stuck in my ego about it. And if people were manipulative or bossy or controlling and harnessing these energies in a shadowy way, I'm not going to let people who were unloving or unjust or unfair, who like to maybe present themselves that way in the world, keep me in negative energy. So I'm going to take the lesson. That's what high vibe people do. Everything we go through in our life, there's lessons to learn from that life experience. Well, what did you learn? Oh, if people seem to be manipulative, now I'm more aware of that. And when I see people I think are being manipulative, I'm going to walk away from them and distance myself. When I see people who seem to maybe like to indulge themselves more in themselves or their ego, or maybe have some issues with overindulging in some way, and that's not really how I want to move forward in life, I'm going to distance myself from them, because again, the things that they enjoy, they have the right to go enjoy it and live their life the way they want. There's consequences to your actions. And, if I don't find that enjoyable, I don't like the negative consequences that come from those decisions, I can wish them peace and I can be sad because I could have loved them. But that's just not how I view life. And though I'm going to go through a period of feeling stuck, I just take the lesson I learned. It's all about getting clear about what our truth is. When I see people who get in relationships or try to get you in something, and then they think they can just ignore love and act like this immature, prideful, egotistical person, when people show me that, yeah, later, you know, my dreams aren't dependent on a certain person being in my life. I want to work with people who have certain traits and characteristics, people who are enlightened to the truth that it's about being emotionally balanced within yourself, taking responsibility for that within yourself, and then moving forward from a place of love to be just and fair in a relationship. And I think the high vibe people that are moving forward in that way, they're going to get the justice they deserve, because they're aligning with that energy within themselves. They're not indulging themselves in their poor behavior, which then would make them probably get in relationship with other people who are operating for poor behavior. It's like, this is what I'm aligning with. This is how I'm living my life. This is how I'm moving forward. The people I'm going to invest in my time, energy, and effort into are people who I think are enlightened to the truth that it's about love and being balanced, moderation in life, We want these things of the world, but we go about it in truth and character and love. Not just, well, it's all about me or it's all about this. It's like, oh my God, you're way out of balance, Or you're selfish or you're greedy or you're prideful or you live in illusion and fantasy land. And they don't keep investing their time, energy, and effort into people who aren't in that energy. And that's why some people aren't moving forward. Because the reason for the bottom row reading is the Ten of Cups. They could know other people, again, Pisces energy. And it doesn't have to be that any of you are dealing with a Pisces. It's just how people harness their Pisces energy. High vibe Pisces are people who are emotionally independent and balanced within themselves. And they love themselves enough to maintain balance within themselves, to not indulge in illusion and fantasy land of thinking they can act these certain ways in the world and they're going to end up with this wonderful life. And they offer themselves love and are willing to walk away from other people who are in shadowy energy to love and believe in themselves. But some other people in their Pisces energy, they're like, oh, I'd have to get balance within myself. I'd have to offer myself like love and compassion and forgiveness to get myself out of my past pain or heartbreak or fear or insecurity or self-centered nature or being consumed with the world, thinking if I have those things of the world or I go indulge in those things of the world, that's the answer. And sometimes for some people, the vice that they look to make them happy, because the answer is it was supposed to be love. We were supposed to learn to love ourselves, so that we could feel at peace within ourselves and balance within ourselves and know our worth and value and grow and mature ourselves and heal ourselves so we can act in these just and fair and loving, enlightened ways with other people. But some people haven't learned those lessons yet because they kind of indulge themselves in these other ways of being that they think will make them happy. They don't have to do the work to get balance within themselves. They don't have to learn to love themselves or heal or grow or mature themselves. They'll be happy. And sometimes their idea, the thing that they indulge themselves in to make themselves feel better, isn't drugs or alcohol or sex or booze or whatever. It's, I'll just go find someone to get in a relationship with who's that way. Perfect. Ding, 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 ding. I don't have to be that type of person. I just need to present myself as being that type of person so that that type of person will move forward with me in a relationship. And maybe by the time they do become enlightened to the truth, we've moved forward, we might be married, we might have had children. And by the time they see through the illusion of who I really am, that I'm really not who they thought I was, maybe then they'll feel stuck and kind of, pride gets us. And Taurus energy is about, these rules and structures that govern our life. What rules and beliefs govern your life? I don't know. You got to stay with me. Because aren't you worried about what the neighbors would say? And it should be we adhere to a higher truth and justice. Screw societal norms, screw whatever. If my God given intuition tells me these people are not who they say they were, or over time they became more stubborn or prideful, or when it was supposed to be that the relationship was supposed to grow and mature, and people were supposed to grow up and get more balanced and just and fair, and they're like, oh no, but now that I got you in it, you're stuck. Because they're shadowy people who use the system to their advantage and hope in your pride and ego you won't leave. And you're like, I am not so concerned that I make the world and the worldly rules or whatever more important than my God-given intuition. I adhere to a higher truth and justice. And when my intuition tells me you're not who you say you are, yeah, I'm going to work through my ego, because we all got our worldly ego nature, to act in truth and love. I'm going to offer you love and encouragement to try to see things my way. I can leave being proud of myself that I acted with character and integrity to bring justice and love to the situation. If you choose to say, no, I'm not taking that, it's like, ciao, and they leave. I have a clear conscience. I acted with character and integrity in my Taurus energy. You want to keep being indulged or not seeing the truth or living in this illusion that it's just and fair to present yourself as something you're not, get people in a relationship with you, and think they'll keep staying stuck with you forever. And for some people, that is their dream relationship. So what's going on with the people who harness some shadowy Taurus energy? We have the Queen of Pentacles, which I view as Taurus energy. We have the shadow side, people operating from their shadow nature, getting in relationships with people who might be aligned. The Two of Cups is Cancer energy. Devil. I want to try to manipulate. The devil tries to make people think, you should live your life like this. Look at these things of the world that I have. I have money, I have status, I have power, I have social influence, I may be attractive, I'm charming, or I got money, or maybe I'll just have sex with you. I'll use whatever resources I have to get you to stay in an unhealthy relationship with me, not based on love. And the devil tries to manipulate people. So some people in their shadowy energy use whatever resources they have to try to tempt loving people to get in a relationship with them. And sometimes, we have some patterns and we can get in some relationships with people because, we could be a little bit in our ego. And it's like, oh, I'm sure if I love them enough, I'm sure they'll change their philosophy of life, because the Six of Pentacles is Taurus energy. I'm sure if they operate from this foundation, I'm sure eventually they'll move over to this foundation and they'll do more equal give and take with me and we'll be happy. Well, God knows that God gave people free will. And we can look in the world and see all the different choices people are making that And when does our philosophy of life it's really hard to change our philosophy of life because Taurus is earth sign energy. It's very hard to move things in the world. It takes a long time to shift and change things in the world. How long has it taken from the time we were caveman people to being where we're at today? How long does it take? You look at anybody in your life that you know. Look at the people in your life who you know are stubborn and prideful. Yeah, did those people change? Look at the people in your life who you know are bullies. Did those people change? Or do we, somewhere along the line, our philosophy of life, I don't know at what time. I would assume kind of when we were young, and it is true we can grow up viewing life a certain way because of like who we grow up with, because Taurus talks about those foundations and things. And it is true, and then we can kind of change some, when we get a little more autonomy in the world and going out in the world, and we can be influenced by our peer group and things like that. But then there come, probably I don't know, probably by the time, if not before that, probably almost by the time someone's 21, they have a pretty set philosophy of how they expect to be moving forward, what drives and motivates them, what their underlying philosophy in life is. And then I think because there isn't necessarily that social peer group, because once you like become an adult, you're blending in with the rest of the world. You can find anybody who agrees with you, no matter how you live your life. Oh, are we gonna go rob and steal from people? Yep, found my people, man. And that's who they hang out with. We get into the world and we can get lost in the people, and we can find people that are on the same page as us. Anyway, some people are still in these mismatched relationships, and some of the people are just being strong about it because they love those people. Some of the people who could have moved forward with some loving people only created the illusion they were willing to detach from an old foundation, because when we move forward in life, we have to let go of an old way of living life or aligning with, to have our loyalty kind of to living that new way of life. And there's some people in the world that maybe kind of like to go back and forth in a way. I have allegiance to kind of an unhealthy connection in my life. It might be their original family group, it might be their more worldly nature, materialistic nature, some group in their life or philosophy. And that can be where people are juggling. They try to create the illusion, oh no, I'm happy with you. I want to move forward and be just and fair and move forward with you, but it's just an illusion that they're going to walk away. They really don't do love. They're kind of immature and operate from pride and ego, thinking they can get away with this, that can't I still be loyal to these other people, and really I want you to kind of have equal billing. Can't they be just as important as you are? It's like, want to know, are you going to, am I a romantic interest? Are those your friends that have equal billing with me? I mean, if you're going to work in a love relationship with someone where, there's even that Bible verse. It does specifically state men, but men in the Bible could just mean human beings. That a man shall detach from his mother and father to like cleave to his wife. The people that we're going to move forward in our life with, that we're maybe, is like our love interest, those people should have priority in our life. And some people is like, well, I have a conflict because I love kind of being more about myself. So I'm going to create the illusion I'm willing to make this relationship from love a priority. But that's just kind of an illusion because I more love myself for some. Or I still am really attached to my family or my friend group, and I'm not willing to become independent of them. So they're really like the third party of my life. It's not hope and faith and belief and love that's the third party of my life. It's my ego or my fear or my insecurity or my materialistic nature or these people. And if it's people, those people have influence on them in a shadowy way. I like to control and manipulate you. Your priority should be with us. You can move forward in a relationship with those people, that's fine, but your loyalty is more aligned with us. And if we think it starts to interfere with us being able to control and manipulate you, we're going to play on your attachment to us to try to get you to let those people go. Ignore their love. They're not letting us manipulate them. And if we can't manipulate them, or we don't like that they're more independent and know their worth and value and maintain balance, we need you to be in a relationship with someone who's kind of tipped more out of balance so that we can manipulate them too. Some people created the illusion that they were over or healed from some other relationship in their life. Maybe some of them just want to come indulge in a relationship with some people they view as loving, like, oh my gosh, I would be like a dream to get back in a relationship with you or get in a relationship with you. But the people who really are more on the same page as me and maybe more indulge me in my ego or my fear or my insecurity, or they're more codependent or fearful and insecure, I think I can leave them and I can come indulge in a relationship with you because I think that's just and fair. And if you buy into the illusion, I guess we'll stay in the relationship for a while. But then if you're not willing to indulge me in my fear or my insecurity or my pride or my ego, I think I know some other people who will. And, if you move on, I'll go back and get in a relationship with them because some people are very selfish and greedy. Oh my gosh. I just say, listen to your intuition. Who in your life seems to be enlightened to the truth? Who seems to be a more emotionally balanced, truthful person? Who seems to be someone who, the people in your life who've already shown you they're more kind of prideful, egotistical, really make those things of the world is how they define their worth and value, what they wear, what they drive, how much money they have, being in the spotlight, whatever. So some of the toxic people view themselves as a nurturing person, but they can only like maintain that persona of I'm like this nurturing person if they get in relationships with people who are kind of in fear or insecurity or self-limiting belief or ego. Then it kind of reinforces like, oh, I'll be this loving, nurturing person to you. But then when the people they get in relationship with kind of heal and grow and mature themselves and they want to move forward in this new way, then it's like, well, no, I don't want to do that. This is how I like to be in a relationship. So in order for them to maintain this persona that they're this nurturing, loving family person in a way, only lasts until the people they get in a relationship with heal and grow and mature themselves. Well, then it's like, well, now I don't want to be in a relationship with you because now you don't look to me for all these things that you want and codependent on me. Now you're kind of more independent, which means for me to move forward with you, I have to get out of my shadowy nature to get more balance within myself. And I don't like being in relationships like that. I like these kind. This is what makes me happy. And some people are going to keep indulging someone like that, maybe because they haven't healed. And so we just got to realize people are where they're at. If people were able to be more authentic and open and loving, they would be. And the people who we see aren't, we realize it's over. Why? Because we've seen the truth. And some people don't look at life from a higher perspective. Some people put an end to love Some people make their life all about the world. The whole thing is for the people that are going through some situations, and if some of you walked away from something and you made an offer to someone else, if that didn't seem like those people are going to move forward with you in truth and love, then okay, guess that didn't work out the way I thought. But you don't go in your shadowy energy of like, oh my gosh, that didn't work out, as apparently they're not the person you were meant to move forward with to bring your dreams into reality with. And you keep moving forward, and I'm trying to find the people who are on the same page as me. Oh no, we're not on the same page. Okay, I'm going to do this work. I tried. I thought I had this dream of what I thought I could manifest and with who, and I could have offered that to someone, and maybe some of those people could be loving people, but maybe they're just not in that place. The whole thing is, wish people peace and love, keep moving forward in your life, being a leader in the world. Taurus energy is about being a spiritual leader. Go be a spiritual leader. This is how you overcome pain, heartbreak, rejection, people acting prideful or stubborn or unwilling to budge. This is how you overcome it. And maybe some of the people who are letting their fear and their insecurity or other people in their life kind of manipulate and control them, by seeing you move forward in an emotionally balanced, loving way, it's like, how the fuck do they do that? Are they even, and some of you are single and moving forward, and you're not getting in a relationship out of your fear, your insecurity, your codependency. And some people are like, what the fuck? How are they doing that? I'm really codependent on people. It makes me feel more balanced. And it might inspire some of those people to do this work within themselves. And other people, they could be kind of in a shadowy relationship, but that maybe could be their truth. I am more codependent. I know to be in a relationship with you, I'm not there yet. I could be happy for you. Because some people who aren't in the best place, just like some of us when we've been in the best place, haven't been in the best place, not everybody is wishing ill will on everyone. Some people are like, I can't get untrapped from what I'm kind of need to free myself from, but I'm happy you did. I'm happy you listened to your intuition. I'm happy that you're moving forward. And then there's other people who are completely the opposite, because we live in a world of duality, that are doing everything they can to try to stop you from moving forward in victory and success, because if they're in shadowy energy, they don't like that you're not in shadowy energy. If the way that they think they can try to get you stuck and stop you from moving forward is to do toxic things, get in other relationships, operate from pride and ego, it's all trying to, for some people, keep you stuck. Be unloving, be unjust, walking away from you, all these things. I want you to be in the energy I'm in. I don't like that you love and believe in yourself. And sometimes it's a third party who tries to interfere in your relationship to tempt the other people that you want to be in a relationship with by these things of the world. And God was just trying to show you who is on the same page as you and who wasn't. The people in your life that were tempted by these third parties in their life, whether that's their sister or their friend or a romantic interest, God was just trying to get you to see through the illusion, because you could have loved someone and you wanted something to work, that you weren't seeing the truth, that this person is not on the same page as you. And it gave you this opportunity to learn to love yourself and believe in yourself, and to look at life differently and see through the illusion and see the truth that there's people in the world who wear a false mask and aren't who you thought they were. The divine knew you were ready for the next phase of life and these dreams that you want to bring into reality. And it couldn't come into reality until some people in your life were out of your life because they weren't on the same page as you. And as you go through this process, you will be able to let go of that old dream, because those people live more from their mind than their heart. They sabotage and backstab themselves by not choosing love. And you do choose love. And then realizing that some people in your life really didn't have your best interest at heart. And they didn't want you to keep loving yourself and believing in your dreams, that they backstabbed and betrayed you. And you weren't seeing that they didn't have your best interest at heart. And this whole thing played out to try to get you to see the truth. The world card's learning a lesson, completing a cycle. The Ten of Swords is completing a cycle, and you come out with the truth. Or just realizing that you're motivated and inspired by different things in life, and you're not on the same page. And it was all to set you free, so long as you keep staying in high vibe energy and don't think you'll be happier. Or instead of putting in the work and effort to keep believing in your dreams and believing in love, that you don't give in to your shadow nature saying, oh, I just think I'll go indulge myself in the world. I think that'll make me happy. It's a lie. It might make you feel better for a while, but our shadow nature, when we've got lessons learned, is the devil. And it's really hard to break free of things that we might go indulge in that we're looking to make us happy, instead of us doing the work and effort within ourselves to love and believe in ourselves. It's like the ball. We were rolling a ball uphill to get to the mountaintop, and it can roll down the hill really fast, and we get ourselves caught up in something. So that's why it's not good to kind of indulge yourself thinking, oh, this is okay, I can just indulge myself in this for a while, and then I can walk away. We're emotionally complex people, and when we have to go through that period, we can revert back to someone who we think will indulge us, to make us feel better. Well, now I walked away, but now I'm sad. Well, I have the option to keep believing in myself, believing in my dreams, to keep moving forward, or I can give in to go indulge myself in something to make me feel better. And eventually, our habits become our patterns in life. It becomes part of our Taurus energy and becomes a part of our philosophy of life. And it's very hard to break our patterns. So what's coming up for the people who harness a more worldly or Taurus energy that they might not see coming up? The King of Cups and the Ace of Cups, because of the Nine of Swords. If some people were, or right now are trying to, people that are in high vibe energy act with truth and character and be just and fair in a relationship. But some people don't want to be more authentic and loving or just and fair in a relationship. They have their own ideas of how they like to be in a relationship, and that's trying to kind of manipulate people to kind of indulge them in the way they want to do it, which isn't being truthful and honest and authentic and just and fair. So there could be some people right now who are trying to manipulate a loving person in a relationship, and the loving person has been being strong for a long time. Maybe because they're part of their family, like siblings and stuff like that. Or there's someone they're in a family dynamic with, that they've created a family with. Or there's someone that's just a friend, that they love and they wanted to be in relationships with them long term. But eventually people get tired of indulging people. It's one thing to extend some people grace if they're not feeling so great or going through something difficult. But eventually we can start to feel manipulated. And what some people don't see coming is that because some people have given a lot of thought to what is love, what isn't love. How does someone who loves you treat you? What does someone acting with character and integrity act like? What does someone who's motivated to be just and fair act like versus someone who doesn't? And some of these people who love themselves, because they love themselves, they're no longer going to keep offering love to these people who aren't acting with love, even though they could love them. It's like, no, I love myself. And if these people are doing things that living more from their mind than their heart, trying to get me up in my head, trying to make me indulge them when they're not being just and fair and open and authentic and honest and loving, I'm not going to offer them that cup of love anymore. I'm going to offer that cup of love to myself. And I'm going to work through all my own fears and insecurities about this because I want to get to the truth. And that's what the Ten of Swords is about. I've completed a cycle. I worked through all my thoughts about why I'd want to stay, why I want to go, the truth of how they are versus the way I'd like them to be. And I'm going to deal with the truth. And I'm going to focus on the truth. There's a maximum of 10 in every suit. If you're 9 swords up in your head, you're in your head about 1 cup of love. Are people acting in truth and love and justice and fairness? And if they're not, then I'm going to keep investing in myself and investing in the world, people in the world who do act in love. And some of these shadowy people now could be really stressed out because, like, shit, I thought they'd always keep indulging me. I thought they were fearful of leaving because, then we kind of go through a period where we're not in a relationship with people and we can feel unloved. I never thought that they'd get in the driver's seat of their own life and love and believe in themselves and stand up for what they believe in. I thought I could keep manipulating them forever, and it was so great, and I was happy because I had this loving, nurturing, supportive, self-disciplined person being in a relationship with me, and I don't have to be that way. It was great. So now, what are they going to do? Probably invest in their false mask, go present themselves as a loving person in the world. Maybe if they have these things of the world, hoping that other people will want to invest in them, and they will. Other people have lessons learned too. If they get in a relationship, if someone believes that they're a loving person and the other person's another loving person, they're going to repeat this same pattern again, have not learned any lessons. And if they don't learn lessons the next time, the same thing's going to play out. And that's what always has them stressed. I'm always so fearful that those people, instead of investing in me, that they're going to see the truth that I'm not who I say I am, and I live more from my mind than my heart, and I try to manipulate and control people in a relationship. I'm afraid one day they're going to choose to love themselves and deal with their own fears and insecurities about leaving my ass. But another thing that could happen for them is they could have someone else who invests in their false mask, who also lives more from their mind than their heart, who sees this person. It's like, you had loving people you could move forward with. You didn't move forward with them. So you have some fears and insecurities. Maybe operate more from your ego and your image. Your ego and your image is really important to you. Interesting. I like people that are like that. So basically, I can use the way you are against you, and I can maybe present myself as loving and come get in a relationship with you. But then, because I know you have these fears or insecurities, or you're very prideful and egotistical, I think I can manipulate you to keep staying in a relationship with me and maybe exchanging resources with me. I'll present myself as loving too. Won't that be great? And we can keep moving forward in the world, trying to show the people how happy we are. But neither one of us is being authentic. We're both creating an illusion. We're both in the relationship more because of the ego and the image and the status. And since neither one of us are really interested in love, and we're more motivated by money and materialism and status and image, I guess we'll stay in it, won't we? And we both keep investing in this false mask about how loving our life is and what loving people we're in relationship with, when it's really everybody manipulating each other out of their fear and their insecurities, or want for stability and security, or a certain status or image. And sometimes the people that we wanted to get in a relationship with and that we could meet, it's to get to know them, to get enlightened to the truth of who they are. Are they more wanting to move forward in an ego image way because you've already been there and done that? And so it's to get to know people, to try to find out the truth of who they are. And some of the people we could have made offers to that aren't moving forward with us, either they're kind of codependent, they're still trying to love and encourage people, hoping one day they'll change, or maybe they're not really who we thought they were. Whatever the case, wish them peace, move on, and you are going to get the justice you deserve. Because if you're not already moving forward with someone who's enlightened to the truth and on the same page as you, you will meet those people. We just have to keep not giving up on our dreams and settling for less than we deserve. So there you go, Taurus energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.